Hi, today we're going to talk about compounding like terms. And as we get started with that, we're going to first talk about different parts of an expression. All right, again, an expression does not have an equal sign. An equation, equal sign has an equation, or an equation has an equal sign. An expression just has some terms that you can simplify. All right, so in this case, we have 7x and negative 5x and 4x. So up here we have, these are called variable terms. All right, so our variable terms are going to be 7x and negative 5x and 4x. All right, our constants terms are terms without a variable. So if you see here, you got a 3, an 8, and a negative 1. So our constant terms for this one is 3, 8, and negative 1. All right, you should be taking notes, so please do so. All right, the coefficients. A coefficient is a number next to a variable. So this is a number next to a variable, so that's a 7 and a negative 5. And a positive 4. So you can see that the coefficients come from the variable terms. A coefficient has to be next to a variable. All right, let's look at an example where you do combine like terms. You can simplify any algebraic expression by combining like terms. This means to combine common variable terms and constant terms. So the example given, we're going to find the variable terms first. So let's go ahead and identify those. So I'm going to make a line here, and we are going to combine those. So we've got a positive 7 we have a negative 5 and a positive 4. So we can say 7 minus 5 is 2. And 2 plus 4 is 6. So we have 6 x's given here. All right, then we're going to look at our numbers. So we're going to say we have a 3, and we have an 8, and we have a negative 1. And 3 plus 8 is 11. 11 minus 1 is 10. So plus 10. All right, so when we combined all like terms, we combined all the x's together, and we combined all the numbers together. All right, so examples here. Simplify each expression. So example 1 has 3x plus 6x. If you have 3 pencils and you add that with 6 pencils, then you have 9 pencils. So here we have 3 x's and 6 x's, so we have 9 x's. All right, look at example 2. 9a minus 10a. If you have $10 and you have $9 and you spend $10, then now you have negative $1. So our variable works the same way as if it's something else. So it doesn't have to be dollars, but it just helps me to think when I'm adding and subtracting what it would be like if it were money. All right, example 3. So example 3 has 7m minus 5m, so I'm going to have 2m. Negative 6 does not have a variable with it, so it stays separate. On number 4, the 9 and the 5 do not have variables with them, so you're going to combine the 9 and the 5. So I'm going to get 14. And even though the 9 is first, we usually put the variables first and then the number at the end. That just kind of gets you ready for standard form as we move later on. So the -6, we have nothing to combine it with. So we're going to have -6m. When you don't have anything here, you're going to put a plus mark there because you know it's not negative. So the 9 and the 5 was a positive 14. You didn't really need that positive 14 until you put something in front of it. You just assume it's positive until you put something in front of it, and then you need to have that addition sign to make sure that you know that's addition and not multiplication. All right, number 5, 7p and minus 9p. 7p minus 9p is -2p. And then we've got -1 plus 5. -1 plus 5 is the same as 5 minus 1, which is +4. Again, we put the variable first and the coefficient at the end. All right, number 6, 5h plus 7h is just 12h's. And then we've got -6 minus 8. So a -6 and a -8. That's like saying I spent $6 at one store, then I spent $8 at another store. So that is a negative number because you spent money twice. So you spent a total of $14. Right, moving on down, number 7. We've got x's and y's. So be careful that you notice that these are two different variables here. So we want to combine, whoops, sorry about that. All right, highlighter. All right, we want to combine the x's, and then we want to combine the y's separately because those are different variables. All right, so if we look at the x's, we can just add those up. 5x minus 1x is 4x. 4 plus 3 is 7x. And then we have y's. 7 plus 2 is 9y. And then over here, number 8, we've got 26a minus 4a. So that would be 22a. And then we have 2b minus 10b. So that's a plus 10. 2 plus 10 would be plus 12b. All right, moving right along. Don't forget, if you need to stop and you need a little bit more time as you're taking notes, just hit pause on the video and then continue when you're ready. All right, number 9. So we're combining like terms. That means we're adding and subtracting terms. Now we have exponents. All right, so here we have 5x squared plus 7x squared. If we have 5 pins plus 7 pins, we have 12 pins. So even though these have a exponent, we're going to just keep the variable with the exponent and add the numbers. So you can see all I did here was add the 5 and the 7 to get 12, and the x squared stayed the same. So combining like terms, your variable and exponent do not change. When we multiply, the rules change a little. So here we have an n to the 5th. So we know we're going to have an n to the 5th. So all we have to do is look at the -15 plus 4. So -15 plus 4 is -11. Here, these all have c to the 3rd power. So we know we're going to have c to the 3rd power. So we're going to say 8 minus 7. 8 minus 7 is 1. 1 plus 16 is 17c to the 3rd. All right, moving on. So on this one, we have k squared, and we have just k's, and we have a third one, a number without a variable, which is a coefficient. All right, so let's look at the k squares first. So 8 minus 2 is 6 k squareds. And then we have our k terms. So minus, if it doesn't have a number there, that's assumed to be a 1. If it helps, put a 1 there. minus 1k minus 5k, so that gives you minus 6k. Oh, and and then I have plus 7. Don't forget my plus 7. So start with the biggest exponent, which is the squares. 8 minus 2 is 6. And then minus 1 and minus 5 give me negative 6, and then bring down your 7. All right, the next one, these both have a squared b terms. So I've got negative 4 plus 10, which is 6. Keep this exactly the same, so it's going to be a squared b. And then the 7 is just your constant term, so just bring it down. All right, so then this one has a lot going on. We've got an x squared, a y squared, and then we've got two terms that have x and y. Okay, so let's put x squared plus 4y squared first. See that we cannot combine those because they are different variables. Okay, now the two in the middle, 2xy, and then minus 7xy, that would be negative 5xy. Again, you keep the variables the same and you add the numbers together. All right, for time-wise, I'm going to go ahead and give you the answers to 15 and 16. They are similar to the last two that we did. If you have questions on those, please feel free to email me. Moving on down to the ones that have the images or the pictures with them. So given the perimeter of each figure, that means you got to add up all the sides. You want to do the same thing. You're just still combining like terms. So we look here and we have a 2x, we have a 3x, and we have an x, which again is a, well, I wrote over it, a 1x. All right, so 2 plus 3 is 5, plus 1 more is 6x, plus 1. So all we did was add up exactly the same. It just has a picture with it to help out. All right, so here we have negative 1a plus 5a. So 5 minus 1 is 4a. And then we have a plus 4ab, which is different. So we have to put it separate because this one didn't have a b. And then we have a 17 and a negative 1. 17 minus 1 is 16. So that would be how you combine like terms there. All right, last two examples here. Number 19 gives you a rectangle. And we're looking for combine like terms of the perimeter. Again, the perimeter means we add up all the sides. So we know if we're missing the side lengths, that this side would be the same as the side opposite it, and this side also would be the same as the side opposite. So we're going to add up all of our x's. So we've got a 3x here. Sorry, my pen's not working. (3x), 4x, 5, 6, 7x, 8x. So if you combined all of your x's, you're going to have, I'm saying x's. Those are y's. I'm so sorry. If you combined all your y's, you got 3y, 1y, 3y, and 1y. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 y's there. All right, and then we have a negative 5 and a negative 5. That's negative 10. Negative 10 plus the 2 on both sides, which is 4. Negative 10 plus 4, negative 6. All right, last one, number 20. I've went ahead and highlighted so that we can see the like terms. So we've got 1k squared plus 1 plus 1. So there's 3k squared plus 2 more is 5k squared. And then we've got negative 9 plus 1 is negative 8. Plus 1 more is negative 7k. And then the negative 17 plus 23 would be plus 6. Good luck on your homework.